opinion is expressed for the following program. If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution while viewing this program, because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children, and not for coworkers either.
All right. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm JJ. That's some of Deacon's head. And we are here every morning. Right.
I'm hiding from Alec Baldwin. He's got a gun. Don't tell him where I'm at.
Don't stand in front of him. We meet every morning to read the news and talk about I don't know, just talk shit. We just talk shit. Sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's language. That's fair. That's fair. I think we're already past the 15 seconds mark, though, so I don't think YouTube's going to demonetize this. Other than they already have demonetized, we are not monetizable. So, yeah. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Yeah, we have a live studio audience. Ruby, are you alive still? Our audience left the room.
Uh-oh. The audience does not care. It
all right. Sure. You let me go out and poop? All right. Good morning, man. How are you?
What's good. Up? I'm pretty good. I've got a long day. It is. It's my busy season here at the radio station, and everything is picked up, and the kids' activities have picked up, and I've picked up some extracurricular things, and so it's starting to pick up. Busy.
I think I heard an ad, like a political ad, on your station, or was it just a political news story about your Dan, the Attorney General? Maybe it was a news story. That was maybe yesterday. So we're starting. It's starting the seasons.
Now, JJ,
sports coming in.
It's so weird that you're able to listen to my station down in
Texas.
Yeah,
isn't that weird?
Yeah. So what I've been doing is I started up a couple of days ago, and I was like, I think I'm just going to join the on our Discord server. Which let me just hit this button right now.
Oh yeah, it's right.
And you see that right there?
Right there.
If you'll go there, you can go, and in our little community hangout spot, I have been turning on the camera at 6:30 because we've been doing the show for a year tomorrow.
Right.
A year tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it's our anniversary.
Yeah, we probably need to talk about that. And I thought, man, I'm still at 6:30. I've got all my stuff done, so I thought, I'll just DJ for everybody for an hour and a half or so. If you will come to our Discord server and join in with me and Brian, Sinister Mister, JJ, and whoever else wants to join in and making requests. I'll play requests for you, and you can listen to my station. That's pretty cool, Deacon.
Yeah, it is cool. I'm sorry, I just got an email. I got from my boss. All right, so hey, I'll set. You know what? I will set up. I'll show you how to set up events on our Discord server so that you can say, hey, there'll be the 6:30 to 7:30 pre-show, and then people that are interested can follow that, and then they'll be informed when you start the pre-show.
Yeah,
so that'll be fun. All right,
cool. Talk about Alec for a second. I've got to. I got to talk.
Well. All right, we're going to do that. Good morning, everybody. Here's our yeah. Go on, do you think? Today's episode title is Gun Study Triggers New Alec Baldwin Charges. Now, if you've been watching the show for a little while, you know that we love to talk about Alec Baldwin being an irresponsible killer and murdered that poor woman with his irresponsible handling of the gun, or perhaps negligence, but maybe intent. We don't know.
I like how you used the word triggered.
That was cute. I almost was like, I almost said that Alec Baldwin charges reloaded. I don't know.
That would have been good.
So we'll just do this story, and then we'll do the music, and then we'll do the rest of our stuff. How about that? We'll do it that way.
Music? I just needed
yeah, I know, but we already.
She was just going to show I thought she was going to show the thing again.
Oh, all right. So we'll talk about that after the music.
Here's the music. Since we're going out of fucking order today, all those.
No, you told me to do it. Here,
no,
song of the day, folks.
You do things different every day. You were like, okay, I'm going to show the title screen while you do this, and then we'll do the music. And then we've been doing that, and then all of a sudden we don't do that today.
I think.
So I'm like, all right, whatever.
I think here's the thing: you weren't paying attention because your head was down. That we came in. I
saw the title screen. You've been doing that, but you don't do that every day. If you go back and watch, you'll notice. All right, Nappy Roots, Good Day, which is obviously not happening. So there's your song of the day. Good day.
What do you mean? What do you mean not happening? What's Nappy Roots? I'm gonna listen to this. You better talk about it for a second.
I put it in the freaking. I put it in the Discord server at like 5:45 this morning.
Ooh, what's
they will like this crap because he's Captain freaking Positive, and this song's talking about a good day. So I'm going to pick this song instead of Po Folks. And I put Good Day. So I thought JJ would probably listen to it, but he didn't. So there you go. There's our song.
Is this Kentucky?
Been ruined. That's done been ruined. JJ's ruined everything. So let's talk about Alec Baldwin since he's so important. No, you don't get to listen to the song now. I put that. It's been in there for an hour and a damn half. You've had an hour.
I had to take my kids to school.
I don't care. You can take you an hour and a half.
Love it. No, you have to tell me. Are these guys from Kentucky?
They met at Western Kentucky University in Bowling Green.
That's awesome. I like this song.
Yes.
I really wish you had told me about this earlier.
I'm going to come to Houston. I mean, it's going to go ding dong. You're going to be like, who's at the door? I don't know who's at the door. And you're going to open the door and I'm just going to slap you across the face. I'm going to turn around and go back to Kentucky.
That makes sense. All right. Hey, I really like that though. If you guys haven't already, you should check out that.
I knew you'd like the song, and so I put it in there.
I really
early this morning.
Morning, Rick there, and we had Brian hanging out this morning, and I think Dave was in there too.
Brian was making some pancakes or something this morning.
Yeah, pancakes.
I want a pancake.
All right. Yep.
All right. Let's talk about
Alec Baldwin.
Cassidy here.
Yeah. Alec Baldwin may be charged with involuntary manslaughter. Now, this is conservative brief, and they are saying to be charged, which is a little more assertive, with involuntary manslaughter in movie set shooting death. Actor and director Alec Baldwin will be charged with involuntary manslaughter on the shooting death of Helena Hutchins on the set of the Baldwin's movie Rust. News came Thursday in an exclusive, the Wall Street Journal reported. Prosecutors plan to charge Alec Baldwin with involuntary manslaughter in the fatal shooting of cinematographer in the movie Rust in New Mexico in 2021. The film's armorer overseeing weapons, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, is also expected to be charged with involuntary manslaughter in the incident, according to the person. The film's first assistant, David Halls, agreed to plead guilty to the charge of negligent use of a deadly weapon, according to the person. Santa Fe, this is all from like an undisclosed source. Santa Fe area District Attorney Mary Carmack Aldways plans to announce the charges Thursday morning, the person said, and the charges are expected to be filed by the end of the month. Apparently, this is due to an FBI, like the FBI tested the gun and they broke it while they were testing it. But then when they fixed it, after that, they tested it and they found that it could only be fired if you were pulling the trigger, if you had the trigger down. That's the only way. So any other way, the hammer lock would have engaged. And so the only way that a bullet came out of the gun that killed Helena is if the trigger were depressed, which is contrary to Alec Baldwin's story of, I never pulled the trigger. And he literally made the motion of pulling the trigger on camera. I never pulled the trigger. And so they dismissed charges for him, they didn't dismiss the charges. The district attorney had been charging him, and then they pulled the charges back. Well, now they're charging him again. So it's not double jeopardy because he hasn't even been convicted once.
I haven't. I can't believe that he, as a professional actor that's playing this Western part, that's in this dramatic scene, he's supposed to fire this gun, didn't pull the trigger of this fake gun that he assumed was completely fake and didn't have anything in it.
Right.
You know, if it was me, I'd have been like, JJ, you're dead meat. And I would have been bow, 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 bow every.
Oh my God, it's an accident. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, this is not right. Bang, 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 bang.
You know as well as I do, because we've went through classes and been trained in gun safety, that you don't put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to. And you can see the people in movies that are disciplined and not. And I think it was Sound of Freedom was the movie that we was watching, that they just happened to be walking through, and the guy was walking through. And you notice that I noticed that kind of thing. They were like sneaking in, and one of the guys had his finger straight out, and I was like, that guy has been taught, not to do that, because some of those guys walk in and they get their finger on their triggers and they're holding up their guns like this, the SWAT team's in there just like this. No, the real SWAT team's coming in like this. They don't put their finger on their trigger until
you keep your hands off of that trigger until you're ready to destroy something.
Yeah, it's called discipline. That's exactly what my dad has said a million times. Me and my brother have said that before. Dad used to have this, it's a dad-ism, and it was, you do not point a gun at anything you do not intend to destroy. So that I've heard that a million times.
Well, it took the FBI until September to determine what, like a lot of us had determined way in advance, which was the gun doesn't just spit bullets on its own.
But they they have to go through the right ways. We can't just be like, hey, JJ and Deacon said it, so it's got to be true.
Right.
They got to go through the right ways. And if it takes a little while,
So would you like to lean a little bit more conspiratorial on this?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
That's my favorite things in the world.
What if, now I'm going to say very low odds. Like, I don't see why a person would intentionally do this.
Right.
What if this, because we both share the opinion that rich, powerful, famous people unlikely to be prosecuted by, a favorable district attorney or government or whatnot. So what if Alec Baldwin is not at risk of being charged and is using this as a publicity stunt for his movie to get his name and the Rust movie back in the headlines? Because whether you know it or not, back in May, on May 16th, filming wrapped on Rust after nearly 18 months after this cinematographer shooting. So we reported back on this, I guess probably in April or May, that they had after a year gone back and finished film and started filming the movie. Well, they wrapped filming back in May, and so now they've had a month or two to cut that footage together and maybe start getting ready for a release. I don't know how. I mean, this is not a movie that's going to require like CGI or anything, so they'll probably be able to get it through production relatively quickly. Could we be witnessing
no CGI? I mean, when they shoot people, they really shoot people in this movie.
Yeah.
So
this has in-camera effects.
Sorry, I had
in some cases. Yeah, no, that's dark. In some cases, it's through camera effects.
Oh man. Okay. Well,
I mean, we're not broadcasting on Rumble.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I'll have to check that. I don't know why the key's not working. I will fix that after the show, folks. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure. Alec Baldwin officially wrapped on the set of Rust after 18 months. And he shared a selfie on Instagram Tuesday. God, it felt good to shave off that beard. That was way back in May. I don't know. Maybe this is all like a publicity stunt for that movie. Don't know. Okay. So speaking of movies, we got another story here. Breitbart News reports that Disney's Indiana Jones 5 faces a $100 million loss. So it's now been in another bomber for Disney. Yep. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is set to lose $100 million. Indy 5 opened in late June, grossed $375 million globally after 6 weeks.
Go ahead. While what? Sorry.
While Mission Impossible 7 which debuted in July, generated $523 million after 5 weeks. So
who cares about Mission Impossible? I have had access to both of these movies since relatively when they came out, and I haven't watched the Dial of Destiny just because.
What? You haven't watched Dial of Destiny?
I love Indiana Jones too. But Indiana Jones as well. So I don't know why I haven't watched it.
Indiana Jones and the demise of Disney. We are watching Disney just implode this year. Man, it's been more than a year, but I mean, they are stacking losses.
People are sick of the crap, man. They're sick of it. We're just sick of it.
Yeah.
So what do they do? You know that these executives are like, what do people want? They don't want this rehash of nostalgic stuff. They don't want new nostalgic stuff. They don't want superhero stuff. They don't want fantasy stuff. We want something original is what we want. And something that is not shoving an agenda down our throat because some director had a vision. That's great that you have your little vision and whatnot, but those ones that are like Oscar acclaimed, Academy Award winning, those are the shittiest movies ever. We don't like those movies. Amadeus and all that shit like that. We don't like those movies.
How about a movie where a boy can be a hero or a girl can be a princess and she's allowed to be a princess and she's allowed to be a girl?
I just want an original story. I just want some original stories and something that's not, I don't know, the same old rehashed plot of the movie. I like movies that make you like. I really loved when Memento came out because it was completely different and original for that time period. And you're like, what? Same way with Blair Witch Project, even though it's made fun of now. But if you lived through that at the time, that was revolutionary filmmaking with, oh my God, is this real? Is it not real? I think she's in a Steak and Shake commercial. I saw her on Jay Leno. No, that's really the girl. It's fake. Oh my God, I thought it was real. It was revolutionary at the time. We need something like that in movies today. Something that has been like, hey, you hadn't seen this shit yet. Look at this. And we're like, whoa, have you seen that movie? That blew me away. And they've tried to do that with Inception and shit like that. It was just like, not really.
Yeah, I think Inception was, Inception made a big splash. But that was, a lot of people liked it more than I did. And what is that other one he did? I mean, Nolan has done some real, like, mind-bending movies. Some really incredible stuff. But who else is out there in the field doing that?
But it's, I don't know. Yeah, that's true.
You wait like once every 2 years for Quentin Tarantino to maybe make a movie, and he's going to be done.
He's done. He's not even on the board anymore.
So who else is out there? You got Steven Spielberg. Making
all those old guys are done. I'm sorry, you're done. You've had your heyday. You're a legend. You're a legend. Great job.
Yeah, you're a legend.
Hall of Fame, go away.
I'm gonna say if you could be a new up and coming filmmaker and you could just imitate Spielberg with young, like I don't know, 12, 13, 14-year-old adventure stories.
That's
just kids
you
having
the word
adventures.
Out of my head. I was like, tell a Goonies story without telling the Goonies story. Make it a fun, adventurous story, but don't retell that story. Don't take that outline and redo that outline. But make it fun and adventurous and
let people forget about all of the preaching they're getting all day long. Just be like, follow this. Oh, this daring herring adventure. What's going to happen? They got through it.
And try to stop this bullshit insertion of your own ideology because people will boycott. People boycotted the Spider-Man movie because of a poster in the background on his wall, right? I haven't watched the movie, but supposedly there was a trans or something on his wall, and there was a poster on his wall, and people were like, I'm not watching that shit.
That made, we talked about it. That made a little splash, but I don't think that's why people didn't watch the movie. I think people didn't watch the movie because they've already seen it. They already saw the first one. It was really good.
No, you're getting completely off topic of what I'm talking about. There is a set of people that didn't watch that movie strictly because that fucking flag was in there, and that's what I'm talking about. If you're going to make a movie, leave your ideology out of it. Nobody wants to see that stuff because when you put it in the background of a movie, somebody's going to find it, and you're alienating a group of people. Don't do that. Don't alienate anybody.
You
Tell
create
a Princess
obstacles.
Bride story. We all love The Princess Bride. Tell a story like that. Tell a story that we're all going to love. That's what we want. So
maybe your adventure heroes don't need to be 84 years old or whatever. Maybe your adventure stories don't need to start geriatrics. Okay. So, okay, we're going to talk.
Get mad at you for getting on Indy and Han Solo, but
I love Indiana Jones. I love Han Solo. Harrison Ford is like super old, and good for him. Good for him. But like nobody's watching. Nobody's watching that. Let's talk about Maui for a minute. We talked about it. Everybody's talking about it. We talked about it yesterday, and we talked about Chinese lasers and all that stuff. And I say I discount that. I had heard that it was probably like a power line. We got it on video. The government on Hawaii spent their money, instead of updating infrastructure, they spent it on like green energy, wind power, and solar farms or whatever. I don't know what. And so when the fire started, it was because the stuff in Hawaii, Lahaina or whatever, is very, very old. And then they came out and fought the fire, and then they left, but they didn't put it out. So you have priorities wrong of the local government, and they didn't do a good enough job of putting the fire out on a dry island. So video shows the start of the Maui wildfire, engulfed in a matter of minutes.
Show it then.
Yeah, here.
I still think it was an alien laser from Mars. It's Mars trying to take over.
Maybe somebody shot the lasers at the power line. Okay, if that's.
So if this is the fire first starting, why is everything? I would say, why is it already on fire?
Well, I mean, because he recorded it after it went pop, and he saw the telephone pole power line drop, and there was a live wire, and it sparked a flame, and it started rolling up. The fire department came out and contained it, thought they had contained it, but they didn't, and it's super dry. It flared back up. There's let's see. There's a photo in here. You can see the actual power line busted in half.
They came up with a water truck.
Why did they not? I want to know why they didn't sound the fire. I want to know who failed on all that mess.
Look at this. Look at this thing right here. If you can see that, power line snapped and broke all over the place. Well, so that's another.
Due to the winds because of that hurricane.
There was like a 60-mile-an-hour wind come through, and they got old infrastructure. And instead of taking it's a small island that are based on tourist money, right? Instead of taking their limited amount of money they get and putting it in modernizing and building, making sure shit is safe, instead here it is. We got a post from Michael Schellenberger, actual journalist. The Hawaiian electric failure was what was responsible for the grass fires. Between 2019 and 2022, they invested less than $245,000 into wildfire-specific projects on the island, and they instead put a bunch of their money into green energy. So they weren't prepared for a disaster, and basically, you have the government that the people elected fail to protect the people. But
because
they got to preach about green energy.
They put all the money that was designed to protect from something like this into being more green, so they could be more PC.
And do you know who else is doing that? California. California also spent very little money on maintaining forests and a bunch of money on preaching to us about wind farms and solar panels and shit. And how many times have we seen California catch fire in the last 10 years? So California's done the same thing, pushing the utilities to spend billions on renewables and cut the budget for forest fire prevention. So, and then whenever fires break out and people die, the Democrats in California blame climate change. These fucking people. It's climate change. No, it's because you didn't maintain your shit and everything burned up.
Well, that's what we started talking yesterday about. You see those pictures of those celebrities and stuff, and even though I've made conspiracy talks and I've said a couple of things on here the other day, you really have to think about a lot of these properties that got burnt are not like those. That's why you see all this devastation of these burns, and then right in the middle is this huge green area with this big mansion, and that was like Oprah Winfrey's mansion. Well,
yeah,
I'm not taking up for Oprah Winfrey because I hate the bitch, but Oprah Winfrey, if I had a big, huge mansion on an island like that, you ain't shitting I would have some sort of fucking sprinkler system or anti-fire, system set up for my house as a part of the person that I hired to help me, prepare my house. So I'm sure all those celebrities and rich people do have, they can turn on their sprinklers and turn on stuff like this to make it less appealing to the fire, so that's why you look down that, when I was joking yesterday, I was halfway joking about some of those houses and whatnot. But, there is a logical explanation to that. And I'm one of those people if there is a logical explanation, I will at least consider it and not not consider it at all. And that is logical.
Right.
So,
so we got like two more kind of components of this Maui thing.
Okay.
You have been saying for the last couple of days that you heard a bunch of kids were the victims. And finally, we have an actual.
I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Unfortunately. No, you're not. On Breitbart, we have a report that children are feared to be a large number of the dead in Maui. Officials continue identifying the dead from the Maui fires, and basically they think that our parents work 1, 2, 3 jobs just to get by, and they can't afford to take a day off. So without school, there was nowhere for the kids to go that day. It's exactly what you were saying, dude. Exactly what you were saying. And that just sucks. And there's this. So initially, when you kind of mentioned this and I heard about it, I kind of was like blaming these people, but I'm going to present kind of this other piece of information. The Maui chief does not regret not activating the sirens during the wildfire. So you had mentioned multiple times that Maui had a state-of-the-art alert system.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Sounds true.
Several places.
And when the reason that they have that alert system is for hurricanes or mass flooding.
Right.
So apparently the people of Hawaii, people that live there, are trained socially, and this is something you wouldn't know if you don't live there, and I wouldn't know. I don't live there. The people that live on the island are trained socially that if they hear the alarms, you go up ground, you go up the mountain, you go up somewhere high, you get up off the ground because floods are coming, or hurricanes are coming, tsunamis are coming, something like that. The head of the Maui Emergency Management Agency asserted on Wednesday that he has no regrets about failing to activate the sirens as the fires were sweeping through. Chief Herman Andaya defended his decision to only send out alerts via mobile devices, radio, TV. This is a quote, had we sounded the alarms that night, we were afraid people would have gotten Mauka toward the mountain. So they would have gone toward the fire. And if that was the case, they would have gone into the fire. So it's possible that by sounding these sirens, he might have inadvertently driven people into further danger. So I don't know. You can be critical of their decision. You can, it doesn't it? It does.
It does.
So it's
really
just a huge tragedy.
Yeah, it's terrible, man.
Yeah. Okay.
This is
all right. That's enough Maui for today.
Terrible recipe. Kids out of school, all this and this with the siren, and this is just a terrible freaking disaster,
right?
Man. This is a terrible.
You have unusually dry weather. You have poor maintenance of equipment. Accidents happen. You have emergency responders that deal with the initial emergency, but they didn't contain all the sparks and they didn't realize it, and everything just flared up again. It's nuts. It's tragic. Yeah, it sucks.
All right, let's change subject so we can. You don't have anything nice to talk about?
You took on way your perspective, too long, I guess,
to answer that question. So I already that you answered that with the.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. So the Fulton County DA wants a March 4th trial date for the Donald Trump case in Georgia. Coincidentally, that is 1 week before the Republican primaries in Georgia. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, you got a visitor maybe, has requested a March 4th, 2024 trial start date for Donald Trump and his co-defendants, which would place the proceedings roughly 1 week prior to the Republican primary in the Peach State. Willis indicated Trump, along with a litany of his political allies, over his efforts to challenge the 2020 election results in Georgia. Trump has contended that the case is part of a broader political witch hunt designed to derail his presidential campaign. It's pretty obvious. That's exactly what it is. You are allowed to say, I don't believe the results of the election. You're allowed to say that. That's not illegal. That's not a crime.
I don't believe the results of the election.
Yeah, you're allowed to say that. So she wants the Fulton County, Fani Willis wants to do the trial right before the Republican primary. In no way meant to shape or change the attitudes of Republicans during the election season.
No, it's just cool.
These people are cheating right in front of your eyes. Okay. And it's like plain on the face. But hold on, there's more. Suppose that Donald Trump goes to Georgia and then is convicted by these people or whatever in this case, and and sentenced to jail. Let's say he gets 5 years in jail or 10 years in jail. I don't know, however many, whatever. Okay. So in some states, in your state or in my state, a Republican governor could say, no, pardon, right? Pardon. We'll pardon this. This is not, however, the governor of Georgia does not have the power to pardon. So even though a Republican, Kemp, is the governor of Georgia, even if he wanted to, and he doesn't because he hates Trump, even if he wanted to pardon Donald Trump, he couldn't do it. So it's possible that Trump could get into a situation where he can't get out of it.
Do we not see what's coming? Can we not see down the road what all of this is leading to? This is leading to everything being within the next 100 years. There will not be a president of the United States. There will be some supreme king-like emperor type leader with a cabinet. You see where it's going? I mean, I'm being far-fetched there, but it is going to a totalitarian, kind of monarchy empire over here with, if it's not already, there's certain things that run this country, but we have the illusion. That's what I believe. We have the illusion of free will, and we have a little bit of free will on our local level, but we don't have free will. It's all an illusion. So I think this is do we not see what's coming?
It certainly looks like some. I mean, it's not even hidden. It's not even well hidden.
That's what I'm getting at. It's not even hidden anymore, and it's so out in the open that people are like us that are like, don't you see this? And we're like, yeah, it sucks, don't it? Next. It's like we don't care that there's corruption right in front of your eyes. It's like you don't care. What do we do about it? We bitch, and that's all that we do is we bitch.
Yeah, the only thing that we can do is talk about it. So who can do something about it? And are those people doing anything?
Yeah, but
Because
JJ,
I've been wondering this for a couple days.
if I put scrolls in key positions all over the freaking world, I can take over and influence how everybody thinks and influence decisions because I have my men, I have my scrolls in key positions.
Yeah.
Getting geeky with you.
Well, that's what we got. Yeah. We got, except they're less cool than
they're
Skrulls.
Less cool than
they're
Skrulls.
just assholes.
Yes, they're just pricks. They're not pricks that can change into things.
Yeah. All right. So that's Trump news, man. We're gonna run out of stuff to talk about. I do have some AI. I got some AI news.
No, we won't run out of stuff.
I got some AI stuff. So unless you got anything else to say about Donald Trump, we're gonna talk AI
He's
stuff.
guilty.
And I love AI.
He's guilty. That's all I got to say.
And you know what? There's people that are going to be like, don't care, voting for Trump. Like, it doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter. You can convict him 50 times. I don't care. I'm voting for Trump.
I don't think they've realized how much it's like what's his name said in that video we watched. It was like, you are making this man into a martyr. Every single time you do this, you're making him into a martyr. So that's exactly what's happening. All right, JJ, tell me about grenades on AI robots.
Oh, you want to go to that one? I was going to start soft. I was going to start with
completely making that up off the top of my head. I hope you don't have a story about grenades.
Hey, you already segued, so we're going there first. I saw this on Associated Press this morning.
Top of my head.
I know. Okay, so there's no guns yet. So I saw this video on Associated Press. Now it's in Chinese, so whatever, they can yabba dabba do here. Check this out. See those little things over there? Can you see that again? Okay, they look a little wonky and wobbly. And that's a robot right there talking. And that's a human, but so there was some sort of a World Robot Conference in Beijing, and these robots were shown off. Look at the detail on the skin. Can you see that?
Uncanny Valley is going nuts with that one right there. Whoa, dude.
Isn't that crazy? Now it gets better and or worse. Okay, you got all these girl bots back here. Okay.
Oh no!
Look at that. Flawless skin, but dead eyes, dead as fuck eyes.
Stop.
Oh, you want to see it?
Let's go back.
Look at these eyes, man.
Look at the hairs along his face.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Okay, so here's the problem that I have. There's no imperfections because you're not perfectly symmetrical on either side of your body. One of your eyebrows is different than the other eyebrow in little bitty way.
That's true.
So
true.
I think the perfection of this is
So this guy's going to offer some
that looks straight up real. Like, I'm not creeped out by that at all. Like, the uncanny valley thing with me is completely real. It does happen. There is a point to where I'm creeped out, and we've just seen this point.
These robots are robotic products that are suitable for communication with people as well as public service. This is I'm going to turn him down here. Okay, currently these robots are used in science museums, tourist attractions, public administration, service centers, hotel lobbies, education scenarios.
Okay,
and companion scenarios.
Those are all cool. You say the companion scenarios. You picked up on the first thing that I thought of. I was like, oh well, they're already making these into sex bots.
Yeah, homeboy built robots so you can have sex.
That's exactly what the.
Look at him and companion. It's normal.
Towards hobbies.
It's totally normal to want to bang a robot. That's what he's trying to tell you right here. Look at the arms, dude. Look at those arms.
I was like, Dr. Octopus.
What if you walked up to somebody and you're like, "Hey, you look like a person," and then look at it's like a backpack with Dr. Ock arms. Okay, dog droids, whatever. Nobody cares about dogs unless you put guns on them.
Yeah,
now, can you imagine? Them?
Is that like a robot, a surgery robot?
It looks like it's playing chess or something like that. I don't know.
No, it looks like a circle.
So, what do you?
You know, they've done a successful. I don't know if they've done a surgery, but they were doing shit from like a doctor overseas was doing a surgery over here in America, and they were doing it via, the
telepresence, right? That's what it is.
and he was there in England or whatever, actually doing a surgery on a banana, and they were taking this banana and unstitching it and taking this freaking tumor out of this banana, this little marble that they'd put in there, and he was stitching the banana back up and whatnot. It was a really cool little video to watch. So that's what that looked like, that little AI. So that's cool.
Crazy.
All right, what else do we got? AI's taking over the world, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so college professors are going back to paper exams and handwritten essays to fight students using Chat GPT.
Yeah, I saw this and I thought JJ's wife might actually have some opinions on this.
Yes, if she was here, I'd be asking her about it. I mean, you have to call and get her attention on this one. But she has been picking cheaters out left and right at school.
Has she? I was going to ask. Has she said to you about any finding any cheaters or whatnot? Because let me tell you, I use Chat GPT all the time to write stuff for my Dungeons and Dragons stuff, and I could probably read something and tell you that it was Chat GPT.
Yeah,
because of the way that it writes. It just writes a certain way because I have to recycle it like 3 or 4 times with different prompts sometimes just to get it to write what I want it to write. And by that time, Ashley was like, why don't you just write it yourself? I was like, I don't know, because I'm lazy. Shut up.
So what is, my wife teaches math, statistics, and stuff like that. So the Chat GPT is going to be useful
for formulas
in cheating. More for people that are writing, like, I don't know, English papers and history papers and things like that.
But I could put in a formula in this Chat GPT that she gives me, and it would straight up and tell it, give it certain prompts, and it could give me, and work it out a certain way.
The kids doing math and cheating using math are a lot stupider. And they don't realize that you are supposed to show your work so that you can show what you're doing. So they take the problem, they put it into this or Wolfram Alpha or whatever they stick it into, and they just get the answer, and then they write the answer in. And sometimes they mess stuff up. And my wife is just incredible at picking this stuff out.
Not every kid is going to just do that. I mean, I wouldn't just do that. That's moronic. Okay. If I was going to cheat and use that chat, I would give it like 17 fucking prompts. I would be like, we're going to solve this problem, but in this, you are going to do this. You're going to show me this work. You're going to do this. 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 And you're going to do this. And it's going to do that. Yeah. And if it don't do that, I'm going to recorrect my prompts until it gets it right. And then I'm going to take that answer and give it to, and I really don't, by that time I could have learned the freaking thing. But here's the question. Here's the question that I'm getting into, and it poses a whole nother branch of questions. Okay. This is the new today. Okay. AI is the new tomorrow. We were told you're never going to have a calculator in your pocket. Now we have a calculator in our pocket. So I was told, the kids don't have to memorize all that crap that we used to have to memorize in math. They have it at their fingertips. We need to utilize the time that we spent trying to get you to memorize it. We're now going to use that time to help the kids utilize it better, because they don't have to memorize it because it's always right here. And it made sense to me. Okay, that makes sense. So now with the AI, we really don't have to, go that takes away a whole nother step. That's almost like the extra calculator in your pocket that does, you know what I'm saying? So, but then, like I said, it opens up a whole new branch of conversation, because what happens when we get hit with a solar flare and all our satellites are taken out, and then nobody knows fucking math anymore? You muted yourself.
Sorry. The teachers are like, faced with this problem of like kids turning in this AI generated homework. And like the teachers are like, honestly, I'm not smart enough to detect the difference. So instead they're going the simple answer, which is the smart thing, which is like, we're just going to have them write on paper. You have to use a pencil, write on paper. That's what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what you have to do. Yes, you shouldn't have been trying to make your job so easy in the first place.
Make them come in, do the test on paper in front of you.
Sit down. Here's a piece of paper.
Here's a pencil.
Tell me what you learned. Oh, you didn't learn shit?
Oh.
Of course you didn't learn. You weren't paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is what we need to do. Maybe we should turn electricity off to all the schools. Not only do you have to write on paper, you got to open the window, breathe some fresh air. That's where you're going to get your sunlight from. That's what I say. Make this shit hard for these dumb kids. Not my kids, but just the dumb ones.
Everyone but your.
All right. Yeah, everyone but my kids. We got another story here. Deacon, you're not going to believe it.
I don't believe it.
You're not going to believe it. Driverless cars caused a traffic jam in San Francisco due to a malfunction. Are you shocked? How could these AI cars cause a traffic jam?
No clue.
And we have video. Video showed nearly a dozen robo-taxis stopping in the middle of the street in North Beach, trying to maneuver out of a tight spot. Crews said that it was suffering from wireless connectivity issues, which caused delays to cars. Oh my gosh. If you can put together a little wireless jammer, you're going to be able to shut down a whole city by just walking around and be like,
God.
Here.
There's like 10 of them.
Look, it's confused. It doesn't know what to do.
And nobody knows. Nobody can do anything about it. There's like 10 of them blocking up. It's like a bunch of damn AI robots that are jammed and nobody can do anything. What do you do in that situation?
Yeah. I think, didn't we cover a story a couple months ago where like a cop pulled a car over, but there was nobody in it. It was just the car. And then the car just like left and there's nobody to arrest. What do you do? Why are you people getting into cars driving? I look over at our little AI mascot down here and, you know, normally it's like, oh, he's just being cool, drinking coffee, but it kind of looks like he's laughing at us. Humans are doomed. All right. That's pretty much all I had this morning.
Freeze up.
Seem to be frozen. Can hear you, but no movement. Great.
Yeah, I think we're having just a little bit of connectivity issues this morning, just like the driverless cars right there.
Yep. So the Rumble feed, I definitely messed up the key. So after this show's over, I'll restream it I'll play it again over on Rumble. So sorry about that, folks. But you got anything? You got any stories? We're like 10 minutes early.
No, was that the last story?
That's the last thing I had.
Let's see if I have anything saved up here in my.
Good look in the news drops.
Stash.
You guys got a bunch of stuff.
I've got one. I've got one here for you that I saved. This going back all the way to the front. We should have added this at the front because you were talking about him at the front. But Christopher Nolan recently said that. Skip the ad. Christopher Nolan recently called Talladega Nights one of the greatest comedies. I must watch it anytime it's on TV. I'm never going to be able to switch that up. He was
which movie?
Talladega Nights: The Legend of Ricky Bobby.
Yes, it is. I watched it like last month.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Yeah. He says, God, anything by Stanley Kubrick, it's a remote drop, said Nolan, and some of the greatest comedies too. I mean, Talladega Nights, I'm never going to be able to switch that up. The Ballad of Ricky Bobby is a Christopher Nolan mic drop moment, Eisen said, and he said, if you ain't first, you're last. That's great.
I want an entire Talladega Nights like universe. I want a bunch of movies set in the world where he's the best race car driver.
That's the greatest.
I think
movie.
That would be fun.
I love that movie. Let's see if this plays.
What is your remote drop movie, Christopher? Wherever you're watching television and you see a film that is a favorite of yours.
I hadn't heard the remote drop as a phrase. That's a fantastic one.
There you go.
Yeah, I love it. And there are so many. I mean, I flick around. And if there's an old movie playing, I mean, God, anything by Kubrick, it's a remote drop. But some of the great comedies too, and I mean, Talladega Nights. I'm never going to be able to switch that off.
Okay, now then, Really?
What?
The Ballad of Ricky Bobby is a Christopher Nolan mic drop movie. Is that what you're saying?
If you ain't first, you're last.
You're not wrong, Christopher. You're not wrong. You're not. I'm just. That's fantastic. That does Will Ferrell know this? Did you just reveal that? Or?
He does now.
Isn't that great? I love that movie.
All right. I found one more. This is on Fistful of Dollars.
Okay.
Whoops. Here you go. Fistful of Dollars. Apparently, President Biden declared, "I am the AI," during a speech. You know, he once said, "I am the Democratic Party." Yeah. Well, he said, "I am the AI." And apparently, we have the New York Post video right here. So I'm going to play this. Here we go. Let's listen.
First of all,
I'm going to blame it on it.
Thanks for coming. And I want to thank my colleagues here for taking the time to come back again and again as we try to deal with, we're joined by leaders of 7 American companies who are driving innovation in artificial intelligence, and it is astounding. Artificial intelligence, it promises an enormous promise of both risks to our society and our.
I'm getting fucking stupider listening to this. God damn. Get to the point, Bob. When does he say it? I can't listen.
I don't know.
I can't listen to him talk. I just can't do it.
He's just.
I cannot. He's just.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
God
right.
Damn.
Threat to our democracy. Come on, Jack.
I'd rather stab my ears with a freaking spoon. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Biden's stupid.
Yeah. He must have said it at the very beginning. Oh, yeah, he said it at the very beginning.
Oh, when he walked out?
So we had to listen. Yeah, I am the AI. All right. Anyway. All right. Well, I think we're just going to wrap this up. And I'm going to have to go rerun it on...
Yeah, we can fix our stuff. So if folks want to join the community hangout at like 6:30 in the mornings over on our Discord server, you can sure do it over there, and I'll join. And sometimes it's sometimes I'll have to stop the I'm running your feed on the same feed that I have to listen to stuff and preview stuff on. So sometimes I have to cut the feed to the Discord stream in order to listen to something, to preview it, to make sure it's okay. And then I'll start the feed back up. So you'll see that, and you see me floating around the radio station and doing my stuff in the morning. So if you want to hang out and do that.
And you'll get some exposure to some music maybe you guys don't normally listen to.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so join our Discord server. It's over there above JJ's head. JJ, do you have some jokes? I've got several jokes here that I can go through.
I got one. What did you know what the limestone said to the geologist?
No.
Don't take me for granted.
Oh.
Hey, I didn't write the joke. Jeez.
I sent my hearing aids away to be fixed over a month ago. Did you know that?
No,
yeah, I've heard nothing since.
I see how it is.
All right.
Favorites.
I got favoritism here. I got one more for you. I read an article yesterday that said that you should embrace your mistakes, right? So, and I told Ashley about it, and she gave me a hug, and I still haven't figured that.
Oh, all right. All right. Well, that's all we got for today. We'll be back tomorrow, 8:00. Rumble.com/JJW. Join our Discord. See you later.